This is Knights Company's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Crew Chevrolet on News 4.
Well, good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. Webb Wright will join us in a moment. I'm Scott Eisberg, and let's get right to it. Super busy night of football. It is officially week 1. Week 0 did not treat Goose Creek well. North Myrtle Beach exposed the Gators' youth, rolled up on them. On the other hand, Fort Dorchester went to Beaufort, came from behind in the second half, and beat the Eagles. So we go out to Bagwell Stadium. The two teams are playing, and Derek Porter, early touchdown from Goose Creek, who comes out running the ball right there, the single wing offense, and that is perfection. Fort Dorchester gets one back. Savion Garrett rushing to the outside and scoring. It's a 7-6 game. More Goose Creek, Porter again, another big time tough run for him, and it's 14-8 Goose Creek on top in the fourth quarter until Fort Dorchester with the play of the game, a 33-yard play. Look at Thomas Adamski to Mikkel Worthen, just letting it fly. What a play right there. He is gone. That's a touchdown. That's the game winner. Fort wins it 15-14, the final score.
Extremely proud. These guys, they find a way to win. They work hard in practice. They find a way to win. We're down 2 weeks in a row. We've been down, and they make a comeback. They find a way to win. That's a blue-collar style of football. That's our style of football. It's going to be a dogfight every week. We're ready for the dogfight every single week.
Well, Somerville opened with a bang. Could have been the game of the year on Monday night. A 35-30 thrilling win over arch rival Stratford without their head coach Ian Rafferty. Tonight it all returns to normal only 4 days later with a super tough state title frontrunner in South Florence making their way to the Lowcountry. Just a phenomenal crowd out at McKissick Field for this one. Both sides, Somerville, South Florence, flooded with fans. Premier matchup. Zach Bailey just released by the Minnesota Vikings this week. Back at home checking out the wave, and he's got to like this play. Second quarter, 7-0 South Florence. Somerville defense comes up big. J.T. Williams tackle for loss for the wave. Somerville gets the ball back. Second quarter, the handoff to Javen Williams, and he's off to the races. Beautiful touchdown run. 7-7 ball game at the half. Second half, some big-time defensive plays. Huge sack for South Florence's Terry Gordon right there. Somerville's Malachi Washington not to be outdone. Nice stop for him. South Florence having trouble moving it. Finally, they are able to move it. They get the ball down to the 25. South Florence throwing for the lead, but Josiah Taylor, a huge pass breakup. This one goes to overtime. South Florence edges Somerville 22-21 in overtime. What a win for South Florence.
Well, the most impressive performance of week 1 may have just been James Island. Knew they'd be good this year, didn't realize how good. Gray Collegiate, a perennial play in December type team. The Trojans dismantled them, going up 24-0 in the game and cruising to victory. The student section is partying in James Island tonight against Hilton Head. It was a game of defense and turnovers. We joined them with the Trojans up 10-0. High snap. Derek Ramzweski with the ball slips through his fingers. He scoops it up and throws it downfield right into the willing hands of Jasavion Brown. He takes it back for a Trojans touchdown. Next James Island possession. They are 3rd and 53. Connor Dantzler tries to buy time for a big play, but instead throws the pick here to Jeremiah Waters. And then a couple of possessions later after this return here on the interception, Hilton Head's Ranazuski calls his own number for 6. But unfortunately in the process, he would be knocked out of the game as Hilton Head goes for 2 and the 2-point conversion is good. Connor Dantzler back on offense, wants to make up for that interception early and does so with this dime to James Hurto. He goes down to the 5-yard line. And from there, James Island is set up in great field position. 2 plays later, Jordan Kendricks is going to get the call with a 5-yard touchdown. 6:47 left in the third quarter, 24-8 James Island, and the final 31-8. James Island gets the win. Meanwhile, Wando and Hanahan. A big matchup for this one in Hanahan. get some early momentum with a nice touchdown pass there.
Trip Gallus, so good at quarterback for Hanahan, only a sophomore.
And then Wando would respond here with a touchdown run of their own. And Wando and Hanahan tonight, that final, it would be, the final of this game would be Wando getting the win 23-20. Meanwhile, Berkeley head coach Eric Lodge.
Well, that's the wrong highlights right there. We got Cane Bay, Ashley Ridge. Hey, let's try to recoup right here. Let's stop it right now. We're going to come back after the break and get those Berkeley highlights for you right after this.
This is Knights Company's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Crew Chevrolet on News 4.
Here are those Swamp Foxes highlights against the Cane Bay Cobras. Swamp Foxes racing onto the home field out there in Somerville. Ashley Ridge D in action. Steven Jefferson with the INT for them, but it is Cane Bay. The Cobras striking first in this one. Short touchdown run by Tyler Myers. 7-0 Cane Bay in the first. Cobras are going to add to their lead. Aiden Thorne with a field goal puts Cane Bay up 10-0, but it is Ashley Ridge that comes back and beats the Rivals 37-23, the final score.
Berkeley head coach Eric Lodge keeping his Florida connections, playing another Orlando school, Winter Park, from the happiest place on earth. Berkeley already scored and went for the two-point conversion, but Winter Park would answer quickly. 2nd and 10, Enrique Archie finds Tristan Gunn, who's going to take it all the way to the house for the touchdown. The extra point was blocked. Winter Park would get the ball back, and there goes that man again. Enrique Archie steps back and fires deep down the middle to wide open Aiden Pouncey. He strolls for the touchdown, but again, Berkeley would block the extra point. 12-8 Winter Park, but Berkeley would answer. Coming up here, needing to convert on 4th and 8. Berkeley quarterback Henry Rivers finds Elijah Mitchell, who picks up the first down. Later in the drive, it's Henry Rivers taking the snap and powers up the middle for the touchdown. And Berkeley, they would win a wild one tonight by a final of 52-45.
How about we go to the upstate, Stratford and Daniel, right up near Clemson, where there's going to be a pretty big game, I hear, tomorrow. Second quarter, Stratford up 14-0. Daniel Jace Grass scrambles and quick pass to Kingston Bibb right there for Daniel. Takes it far down the field and sets up a little run right here for a touchdown from Bibb. Makes it 14-6. Then third quarter, Stratford's up 21-6. Daniel Grass 12 yards to Jeremiah Brown, makes it 21-14, but Stratford hangs on and pulls off a tremendous win up at Daniel tonight. 42-26 is the final score. The most impressive performance of week 0 may have been Phillip Simmons, and they didn't even win the game.
But in super tough conditions against a larger school, rival school, Hanahan, they nearly erased a 20-point deficit late, only falling by 6 points. And it would be another slow start for the Iron Horses. They fall behind 28-6 at the half, but could there be another comeback brewing? The field goal there makes it 28-9, and then the Iron Horses get a stop, get the ball back. Hayes Goddard looking to throw, instead takes off, and he's going to hit the house. The two-point conversion is no good. 28-15, the Beckham lead cut to 13, but eventually Lucy Beckham gets the ball rolling on offense once again. Look at the big fella rumbling for the first down and more inside the Iron Horse 30. From there, watch this run from Jaden Geathers. He simply will not be denied. No one's keeping him out of the end zone. 35-15 Bengals, and that would be your final as Lucy Beckham gets the win.
This is one heck of a game down near the Georgia state line. May River and West Ashley start of the second half. The kickoff, West Ashley returns it for a touchdown, makes it 16-7. West Ashley in the lead. What a play right there for the Wildcats of West Ashley. This is another nominee for play of the night. How about May River then on the West Ashley 5-yard line, and senior Sean Mitchell going to run it up the middle, and Sean Mitchell Mitchell's going to score. It's 16-14 West Ashley. Then athletic stiff arm right here for the senior Andrew Johnson, which will set up a touchdown. Then Andrew Johnson, a 30-yard run for a touchdown. May River goes up, but West Ashley ends up on top. 31-30 the final. That in overtime. Oceanside Collegiate did not get the win, but boy was it close against the Irmo Yellow Jackets, a much larger school last week. Tonight, they go south of the Georgia line for a private school game against the team just riddled with college prospects. So let's head down to Savannah for this one, taking on Calvary Day. Saiden Jones, 8-yard touchdown run right here. Cavaliers in front, 7-0. But Oceanside trying to respond. Aiden Manavian gonna throw it high, bounces off the Landshark hand. Scotty Walker runs it back the other way, and they will punch it in on the next play. And when you do that, the Calvary student section will be cheering and cheering some more for that touchdown. Oceanside's down 14-10, still first quarter. Zakai Muncie, touchdown run. Landsharks cut the deficit to 14-7. Then same score, next possession, Aiden Manavian gonna hit Terrence Johnson for the touchdown. Oceanside ties the ball game right here. Second quarter though, Calvary goes to the trickery, and boy, is this a crazy, wild touchdown. MJ Knight catches the flea flicker, and Calvary is up 31-28. Final score of this, 59-49. Calvary wins it, 59-49. Calvary victors. How about we head out to St. George tonight? Eddie Ford and Woodland, they are hosting Colleton County this evening. And look at this sack from Donovan Miles. Actually, it's a tackle for loss. Whatever it is, boy, was it pretty darn good. Then this is not a good snap for Colleton County, back to punt, and it is going to be picked up by Jamin Pinkney on the 2-yard line. Gervais Sally scores it from there, and the Woodland Wolverines beat Colleton County tonight. 20-7 is the final from out in Dorchester County. Let's head out to Panther Country out in Lake City. They are hosting the Timberland Wolves. Actually, this is going to be Bishop England and St. John's. Don't have a script on this game right here, but this looks like Bishop England running all over St. John's tonight. Bishop England does beat St. John's tonight. Final score of that game. Do we have a final score of it? We do not have one, but if we get a final score texted to us, we will certainly let you know what it is. Now let's head out to Panther Country as Lake City is hosting the Timberland Wolves, and Lake City would go into halftime up 16-12. Timberland comes up with a questionable 4th down conversion. Shaquem Epps comes up with the INT for the Panthers. The old saying, ball don't lie. Panthers cannot convert the turnover into points. Timberland, next possession, they go right for it, and again on 4th down, and it's Malik Goodman, a 57-yard scramble. That would set up a 2-yard score from Anton Faison, and the Wolves take a 20-16 lead. Fourth quarter, it's the Wolves again going for it on 4th down. Goodman scrambles around the pocket, and look at this amount of scrambling that he will do. It's a lot. He'll end up finding Jaden McGrew. McGrew will be open for the touchdown. Wolves go up, and then the Wolves go on to win after this crazy touchdown right here. Nice win for them, really a close rival for them. 34-24 is the final score.
North Charleston hosting Cross, and North Charleston early on, they would have the ball but forced to punt under pressure, so CJ Furby tucks it and runs and picks up the first down, but not much more offense for the Cougars on that drive, and Cross gets the football back, and Makai Green, just like that, is gone. 26-yard scamper puts the Trojans up 7-0. Meanwhile, back on offense, C.J. Furby trying to get it going for the Cougars, but his pass is picked off by Jeremiah Smith, and Jeremiah Smith is off to the races, and he's going to end up with a nice return inside Cougar territory. We've had plenty of plays of the night. Why not one more? Tyler Harris flips it to Caden Ramsey, almost over his head, but corrals it and goes to work. running around. Looks like he manages to make every Cougar miss on his way to the end zone. An impressive touchdown carry. 2-point conversion is good. 15-0 Cross, and Cross goes on to win it 37-6.
How about we do the Polarity Bowl? Academic magnet, military magnet. Raptor cheerleaders fans revved up for the second half of this one. Military magnet going to fumble. Academic magnet going to recover. Nice field possession for the Raptors. Raptors QB Owen George with the keeper, making multiple defenders miss for the touchdown right here. 21-0 ACMAG. Then Raptors linebacker Caleb Parrish will block a punt. All ACMAG all the time. Austin Miller now 2-0 as a head coach. Raptors take this one. 28-0 is the final score over Military Magnet. We'll be back right after this. Much more to come. Skis a Please is coming your way.
This is Knights Company's Friday Night Rivals, driven by Crew Chevrolet on News 4.
Hard to argue with the job that new Porter-Gaud head coach Matt Neighbors has done so far. Racked up 400 yards on the ground in week 1 against Hilton Head Christian.
Last week, a 48-0 win over First Baptist. What's the encore? We find out. Neighbors taking his new squad back to his old home state.
All right, let's head down to Savannah High School Stadium, because apparently the Savannah Country Day Stadium had a sinkhole this week. Hornets welcoming the Cyclones. Defensive battle to start. Hornets quarterback Thomas Holland keeps it himself. Cyclones Allen Chisholm for the big takedown. Second quarter offense gets going. Cyclones quarterback Scott Tibble sees an open lane, calls his own number, won't be denied, muscles his way into the end zone. Porter-Gaud strikes first, 7-0. Later, second half, Hornets begin to find their rhythm. Holland get a step back and let it fly. Wide receiver Peyton Bean climbing the ladder, and a man on him comes up with a big first down. Later in the drive, Country Day finishes it off. Same duo, Holland and Bean, this time for the score. Cyclones lead is cut to 1. Hornets come out buzzing, and they keep the Cyclones off the board. 13-7, Savannah Country Day wins this one.
And more skis a ball. Pinewood Prep on the road at the Hammond Skyhawks, trailing 6-0. As we head to the highlights, Bubba Alexander. Great name for a running back always is Bubba. Finds a crease, and he is in for 6, and Hammond takes a 7-6 lead after the made extra point. The Skyhawks, meanwhile, also flying around on defense. Hugh Manning going to come up with the sack of Silas Bronner, and then a couple of drives later, Bronner is going to get a little revenge to Grayson Saligo for the big gain down the far sideline for the first down. And then check out this ball to Lavoris Lucas. Watch the catch here. Great catch. The drive would end in points as Pinewood gets a field goal, and Pinewood takes a 9-7 lead into the half. And the final in that one as Hammond goes on to win it 20-16.
Northwood Academy all over First Baptist tonight. Johnny Waters returning to James Island.